Let's start with the good news, and that is West Ham have been linked to a couple of players I would love to see in the Claret and Blue next season. I think they'd make a significant difference to our starting 11 immediately. The exact type of player I want to see us bring in this summer. The bad news is the people reporting the story, not the best, not the most reliable when it comes to West Ham news. But anyway, welcome to the West Ham Transfer Rumour Show. If you're looking for 100% factual news, if you're looking for in-the-know information, not the video for you, not the channel for you. I am definitely not the host for you. I'm a proud NITK. I know nothing. I know what you know. I read what you read. I just like discussing it on video because I like transfer rumours. I don't take them too serious, so it allows me to have a bit of fun, laugh at most of them, but discuss it hypothetically because for some weird reason, I enjoy doing that. Anyway, if you enjoy a transfer rumour show, stick around. Let's take a look at all the big headlines. If you do not, before you go, drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up, will you? And we'll come back tomorrow when we've got the build-up show, factual stuff. But anyway, let's start with what I would consider to be the biggest headline of the week, which is we've been linked to Southampton's 20-year-old attacking midfielder, Matias Fernandez. Now, this is one player I'd like to see at West Ham next season. When I watch Southampton, he's been the one that's consistently stood out for me. He just looks a better player than those around him. I think he's had a decent season there. Now, on the outside looking in, his statistics don't scream successful, fantastic attacking midfielder. Essentially, that is what he is, an attacking midfielder. 2 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League. It's nothing to write home about. However, let me chuck in a couple of players for context and examples. We've got El Khanous of Leicester City. Now, I'd prefer to sign him. I would prefer El Khanous over Fernandes. I wouldn't sign both. I'd sign one or the other. And El Khanous would be near the top of my wish list this summer for that type of player. He also got 2 goals and 3 assists in that Leicester City team. But there's another attacking midfielder in the Premier League, 4 goals and 3 assists. It's not much, is it? It's not great. Well, that player's Mohamed Kudus. Now, I'm not comparing abilities or anything like that. My point is, we know as West Ham fans, we know Kudus is an excellent player and could be an excellent player. We know his returns do not reflect his ability. We know the reasons and the context around Kudus not performing well this season. But those have to be applied to other players as well. You can't, in my opinion, just judge someone solely based on their goals and assists. It's a very good indicator, don't get me wrong. If someone's scoring loads of goals, that's a good sign. But I think there's more to it. And Fernandez's underlying data is very, very strong. His passing's very strong. His off-the-ball work rates, his interceptions, his tackles, that's very strong as well. I think there's a good player there, just 20-year-old too. I think there's a lot of potential to be unlocked. I think it was a great signing for Southampton. He wasn't the problem. They got a lot wrong in the transfer window, but they actually got a couple of things right. And I think he was possibly the biggest one. Now, the rumoured price tag's around about 25 million, which is maybe a bit chunky for my liking, but they paid 20 million for him from Sporting, and they've got a sell-on clause in there as well, and it's believed that it's a sell-on clause rather than a percentage of the profit. So they were to sell him for 20 million, they're actually making a loss in terms of money. So 25 million, I think that would be the fee. Obviously, naturally, you're thinking, do you want James Ward-Prowse? Can we knock a few million off if you take James Ward-Prowse off our hands? I would like to see him at West Ham. He wouldn't be the top of my list, but I think there's a really good player there, and I think whoever gets him's got someone that is a bit rough. He's not perfect, but he's just 20 years old. I think give it a couple of seasons, you could have a top player on your hands there in Fernandes. Now, moving on to Chelsea. You've been linked to 4 players from Chelsea over the last few days, and it's hard to believe any of them, but it doesn't mean there's not 1 or 2 players I think could be on the move, which is important. And that's the same for Fernandes, by the way. I do believe he will leave Southampton. So when it comes to these rumours, everyone decides for themselves. Everyone has different opinions as to whether it's realistic or not. And I think for my number 1 rule, it's always like, well, is the player going to leave in the first place? Because if it's no, then it's like Jared Bowen. If Newcastle gets linked to Jared Bowen, if I was a Newcastle fan, I say, well, that's a non-starter. He's not going anywhere. But when they get linked to Mbomo, if you got linked to Liam Delap, I say, well, actually, we know they're leaving their club, so it's already more realistic than it was 5 minutes ago. So I think Fernandes will leave Southampton, and I think some of these Chelsea players will leave Stamford Bridge. It's just whether they come to West Ham or not, I'm not too sure about it. Now, the first one is Nkunku. I used to love him. I used to love Nkunku when he was at Leipzig in that team, and he played behind Andre Silva, a team of Werner on the left. Danny Olmo was in that team. That was an exciting Leipzig team, and I used to love him in the Bundesliga. And when he went to Chelsea, I was a bit jealous because I was like, oh, that's one of my sort of favourite players outside of the Premier League. I used to enjoy watching him play football. But he's absolutely stunk the place out at Chelsea. He's been a really bad signing. He hasn't adapted to the Premier League. He hasn't adapted to Chelsea. Been injured a lot. It's just been a horrible, horrible signing. But anyway, during the week, we were linked to him that Graham Potter, I think it was something, the headline was something like, Graham Potter aims to persuade West Ham board to sign Chelsea star. So, okay, who's this? Nkunku. Oh, right, yeah, the guy that's on like 300 grand a week. Now, I wouldn't want him on a permanent transfer. I wouldn't want him. He's only 27, I think. He's not old. But this is where I'd love to see us be ambitious now with loan offers. I think there's a lot of players that could leave their club this summer. Harvey Elliott, Kobe Mainoo, Garnacho, Nkunku. Is it likely they'll be loaned out? No. But I'd almost think, well, you've got nothing to lose at this point putting in offers to loan these players for the season. And then having Nkunku on loan 100%, I don't think Chelsea will loan him out, but I'd love to see that. But signing him, not really for me. Top player, wrong league is how I'd come to my conclusion on him. I'd like to see him go back to the Bundesliga and start playing good football again so I can enjoy him from a distance and as a neutral. But at the minute, I don't want to see him play good football. Got a good celebration, and it's quite funny, isn't it? He carries a balloon around in his sock for the entire game. He usually does next to nothing. Anyway, Chalobah of Chelsea. I was going to say I'd love him. I got proof. I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you a clip from nearly a year ago. Jordan's saying, do you think there's any sleeping giants, a bit like what Watkins was, currently in the Premier League? I think whoever gets Chalobah from Chelsea will get a good centre-back for a decent bit of money, whether his value soars or not, but he's not what you would call he's not a consistent starter in the Premier League. I think he will become one. The one I'm convinced by the most at the minute is Duran of Aston Villa. I think he's fantastic. Every time I've seen him, I've been really impressed. And that's who I would make my number one target this summer at West Ham. Like, I don't know how much he would cost to get out of Villa. Probably quite a bit. He might not want to come because obviously they've got Champions League football and stuff. But at the minute, he's easily a second choice to Ollie Watkins. And there's a lot of talk Villa want a striker linked to En-Nesyri, of course. So if he's going to become third choice striker, he's 20 years old. But he's strong. He's quick. I think he's quite clinical. I really, really like Duran. I think Duran will become a top striker. I do. So he's the guy that I'd go get this summer if possible.
Yeah, I would respect that. That's a good shout as well because he's young and stuff as well. So I think value wise, you're looking at someone who will probably win. I think Chalobah's not a bad shout either. I think like you say, I think someone there is paying a lot of money, and as long as he stays fit, are gonna get a centre-back who could start in the Premier League very easily for a long time. And that's not exactly that's not an easy thing to do.
I think we can all agree I get a lot wrong on this channel. Danny Ings. Carlin Grant's my favourite one. I was convinced he was going to be a good player. Carlin Grant's my favourite one. Bobby Reid. In fairness, he did it at Fulham in Leicester. Not really at Leicester. He did it at Fulham for a bit, but I thought he'd go on and be better than what he did. But I think I can say I got those right. Can we say that? And I'm going to suggest... No, I won't. I'm going to suggest I got Scott McTominay right. Different league altogether, going over to Serie A, but I'm buzzing for them. Getting that goal, fantastic goal as well. One player of the season, just won the league with Napoli. What a man. My Scott McTominay love continues. But yes, Chalobah, would love him. Went to Palace last season, did really well. Chelsea recalled him out of spite because they wouldn't sell Mark Gay to Chelsea. He had an okay second half to the season under Chelsea. He was in and out of the team. I don't think Maresca's really settled on a centre-back pairing. I think Colwell's his favourite, understandably so. And Chalobah, I think, at the moment, and that's his pairing. Fofana, I think, would be, but he's just constantly injured. He didn't really like Disasi. He's not really like Tosin. But Chalobah's still sort of in and out the team. So I think there's an opportunity maybe to get him. Just 25 years of age. I think he's a really solid, consistent, reliable defender in the Premier League. And he would cost big money, but I do think he'd be worth it. I'd happily, I thought 40 million for Kilman was overpaying. I don't think you probably would be overpaying for Chalobah, but I think he's a better defender than Max Kilman. If we had any chance of getting Chalobah out of Chelsea, I'd be all over it. I think he's a top player. I think his best years are yet to come. He would just fit. I think he would absolutely fit with what we're doing. And not only that, if we had to sack Graham Potter and get someone else in, I think he's the type of defender that would work under most styles and most different types of manager. So I think Chalobah would be a big, massive 100% yes for me, and I'd happily see us pay a big bit of money to get him to West Ham. We've been linked to the other two centre-backs, actually. Tosin as well. He obviously joined Chelsea last season on a free from Fulham. He's not really had a decent run in the Chelsea team. Still only 27, so there's definitely a good player there and a good signing there for someone. And it depended on the fee, but I'd happily see him at West Ham. I think he'd improve our defence. And that's something I want to see us bring in at least one centre-back this summer, regardless of who leaves. Now, obviously, the expectation is Aguerd leaves. We'll get on to him in a minute. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm open to selling all of them. Todibo, Mavropanos, Kilman, Aguerd, I'm open to selling. Now, I'm aware we can't sell all four of them. But my point is, I'd entertain offers for all four of them. There's not one of them that I would describe as untouchable or must be at West Ham next season. So looking at centre-backs to bring in, I think Tosin makes sense, to be honest with you. I don't know what the rumoured price tag is. There hasn't been one. The article just said that we're interested in these three Chelsea defenders. Didn't put any monetary value to them, so you're going to have to guess. So I'm thinking Chalobah's 30 million plus. I think Tosin maybe 15, 20 million perhaps. And it would be a good deal for Chelsea, considering they got him for free a year ago. And he's done okay. He's participated. He's played a part this season. But I think he possibly needs to leave Chelsea if he wants to have a good career. If he wants to be a bit part player of a successful team, then stay where you are. But you'd rather play week in, week out. I think you're going to have to leave Stamford Bridge, because I don't think this hasn't been the best Chelsea team, and he's been in and out of it. Moving on to Disasi, obviously went to Aston Villa on loan in January. I don't like him. I'm not a big fan of him at all. I don't know what the price tag would be, but it's a no for me. I wouldn't want to see him at West Ham. I would really say a loan move maybe, but I'm not even that convinced by it. I think there would be better options out there. It's one of those players I'd consider as a it'll do kind of player. I think the wages attached to him, the transfer fee attached to him, it's unappealing to me. I don't think he's had a great time at Chelsea, and I don't think he's had a particularly great time at Aston Villa. Now, I do feel a bit sorry for him, because I think Emery's utilised him as a right back, and he has played right back at Chelsea. And I think he looks very uncomfortable when playing that role. So I think he's better as a centre back. And he hasn't really been given that chance. Emery's preferred in Konsa, understandably, because he's a much better defender. But then next to him, he's got Torres or Mings. So Disasi's place, if you like, is to play right back and compete with Garcia and Cash. But he hasn't looked great when I've seen him in a Villa shirt, and he hasn't looked great when I've seen him in a Chelsea shirt. So it's a no thank you for me. Right, we've got a couple of players I've not heard of. Before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We are, bloody hell, 14 minutes in already. Good job. I've actually got, I kid you not, right? I've got the transfer rumours I'm doing today. Then I've got transfer rumours that I'm not doing, because there's too many. Too many. This would be a 30-minute video otherwise. Right then, did I say to drop a like on the video? I think so. Click it. Click the thumbs up button. Thank you. Right. Sudokov. Now, he looks good from the outside looking in. Playing for Shakhtar, 22-year-old attacking midfielder. 15 goals and 6 assists in 37 games. Unlike Fernandes, that guy's producing the numbers, isn't he? Never heard of him. I don't know. I've got nothing to tell you about him. I looked up his statistics, and I thought, will I go start watching his clips on Y Scout? And I thought, no, because Don't know. I need the rumour to pick up a bit of pace first, make it a bit more believable. But there'll be a lot of you that have heard of him. Put your comments in below. Let me know what you think of any of the players we're discussing, any of the transfers we're discussing. Let me know what you think. You don't have to believe it to discuss it hypothetically. You're allowed to just talk about it. Even if you think, I don't think we'll get him, but I think he's a good player. You're allowed. Think what you want. Get involved. Right, Nathan Aguerd. It's not a good update, actually. The update is that Real Sociedad don't want to buy him. So we know, if you believe the reports, he's informed West Ham. His agent has informed West Ham that Aguerd doesn't want to return. And they've started putting the feelers out to find him a new club. That's fine. That's good. I think that's good news. I don't want to see him back here. Sell him. But Real Sociedad, apparently he's had a poor second half of the season. And as a result, Sociedad don't want him. Obviously, he was linked to Real Madrid, who have now just forked out 50 million on Dean Howson of Bournemouth, so he's not going to be going there. So it's gone from Aguerd wants out, and it felt like at one point there was going to be quite a few clubs that were after him, to not that many clubs, if any, are after him now. So I think this could be a bit of a problem as we go into the summer. I'm sure there will be clubs willing to take him, but I've got a feeling that the deals may not be something that West Ham are satisfied with. We might find the offers we get for him are loan offers or a low transfer fee, because of course we've got the African Cup of Nations coming up, haven't we? So anyone buying him knows that they're going to lose him in January for a month or so. And we know what he's like when it comes to Africa. He doesn't play in the couple of games before the competition. He doesn't like playing in those either. So you're going to lose him for quite a bit. I've been a bit naive thinking, we'll easily sell him just like that. 20 million, happy days, bosh. I know some people rate him higher. I'm not sure. If it's a Premier League club trying to buy him, sure, but it's not. It's Spanish clubs. So I was thinking a bit of a lower fee, 20 million, happy days. I'm a bit worried we're not going to get that. Now, whilst I don't believe that we completely have to sell before we buy, I do think there's an element of sell before we buy, and that's for all clubs. I think there's an element that you want to recoup as much money as you can. And while we're earmarking 60 million for Kudus, I think we've probably earmarked 20 million for Aguerd, thinking, well, there's 20 million, there's 60 million, and there's a 10 million for him. Chuck in what we can afford. We've got 100 million to spend. So potentially bad news there. Also bad news, we're not linked to him. And that's Liam Delap. I'm getting a bit worried because Fabrizio Romano has said that Everton have given Delap his proposal. There's a photo doing the rounds on social media of him with a builder outside the new stadium, and now there's people discussing whether or not the photo's real or not. And this is the problem with the world we live in now with AI and stuff. You can doctor these things, so it's got to the point now people don't believe it. I don't know if it's real or not. I've seen it. I'm not that bothered, but I've seen people arguing it's real and seen some people arguing it's not real. But what is real is Fabrizio Romano has said that Everton have given Liam Delap his proposal. Kieran McKenna has confirmed Delap is speaking to other clubs with Ipswich permission. So he's definitely on the move. We know that. It's 30 million. I'm a bit worried if he goes to Everton. I think that would be a 10 out of 10 signing for them. I want to see us in the running for them. Are we not? I'm almost like, excuse me, like Mr. Potter, Mr. Macaulay, why are we not after him? Why are we not trying to convince him? Is it because you don't think he's good enough? Then who are we going after? It better be a bloody good striker, because this is almost like, it feels risk-free, this signing. 30 million for Liam Delap, England under 21 striker. Had a very good season in the Premier League, hit double figures playing for Ipswich Town. Can we... And also, I would argue, the exact type of profile that looks like it would work under Graham Potter as well. There's nothing to dislike here about this deal, but we're not linked to him at all. And it doesn't mean we're not interested, of course, but I'm not going to lie, I'm getting a bit worried. I'm thinking, I want to be... Can we get involved? Can we try and sign this player, please? Because whoever gets him gets a top striker. And Everton, as a team, I think we'll be competing with directly next season. So if he goes there, I'm looking at a team that's improving their squad, whilst we are perhaps not. And it's not like when a team of compatible size and ambition goes and signs a player from abroad that no one's heard of, I think, okay, well done. That's credit for finding that player and bringing them in. But when it's someone like Liam Delap, there's little credit there because everyone's heard of him. Everyone knows about him. Everyone knows he's 30 million. There's excuses if you don't find that hidden gem in South America. Right, okay, we don't have a South American scouting system set up. We weren't going to know about that. But there's excuses there. But with Delap, there's none. There's literally no excuse. Now, it could just be that we just don't like him. Potter doesn't like him. Macaulay doesn't like him. But if that was the case, I'd be worried. I'd be thinking, well, how do you not rate this guy? Anyway, maybe I just rate him too much. Last player, Hajdani. Hajdari. Plays for Lugano over in Switzerland. 22-year-old centre-back. But perhaps more importantly, a left-footed centre-back. And even more important is they play a back three. Now, we know we've got a vacancy with Adam Creswell departing because ultimately, if you think we had a cup final today, what would Graham Potter do? Not what you would do. What would Graham Potter do? And I think he'd have Areola in goal, and I think he'd have Tadibo, Kilman, and Adam Creswell at centre-back. Do we agree? So we would then agree that we've got a vacancy in our starting 11 in that position. That's a position he fulfills. Now, never heard of him. He's 22-year-old. I had a little look. His price tag is less than 10 million. He's one of these cheap players that we've been linked to. Statistically, he gets compared to not the top 5 leagues, not the Champions League. He gets compared to the other 14 it's called, which is the Championship, the Conference League, the Swiss League, the Belgian League, those leagues. Very good. His statistics are very good. In terms of, he looks like a very strong ball-playing centre-back from his numbers. Looks good on the deck, looks terrible in the air. His statistics, his data for headers is horrific. I think it's like the 17th percentile. It's really, so I don't know if he's short. I should really have looked up his height. But this looks like a guy that's not very competitive up there, but down there looks great. I've never heard of him, so I'm hoping that some of you guys have heard of him and will let me know what you think of him in the comment section. So don't be shy, get involved. Anyway, whatever you're up to today, Championship playoff final, isn't it? I'm looking forward to it. It's hard to see past Sheffield United, but I'm rooting for Sunderland. For those that don't know, I pick 3 Championship teams a season and follow those 3 teams because it's easier. I don't have time to follow all 24. It's hard. So when there's a round of fixtures on in Championship and I'm going to watch a game, I pick one of the 3 I'm following. This season and last season, I've been following Sunderland. So I wouldn't say I've got a soft spot. I think I like them. I like a lot of their players. And it'd be good for West Ham if they stay down, because then hopefully we could go get a couple of their players. But I'd prefer them to come up than Sheffield United. So good luck to Sunderland. Well done to Scott McTominay. Good luck to Aberdeen today. And then good luck to West Ham tomorrow against Ipswich Town. Video up later with Frankie, just discussing West Ham, discussing Jared Bowen. The video yesterday I did with Ben, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I don't often promote my own videos, you just know this, I think. I very rarely say, this video is really good, go have a look. But that video I did with Ben yesterday, I thought it was one of the best videos I've produced this season. Hand in heart, I believe that. So if you've checked it out, thank you. If you haven't, go have a look. Anyway, I'm shutting up, I'm waffling, I'm turning Belgian, I'm off. Drop a like on the video, scouting you around here, and we are live tomorrow. It's 4 o'clock kickoff, so we're live at 2:55 on this channel with the build-up show. We'll see you then.